everyone, and welcome back to As They Grow Up. This is Samantha, and today I want to share with you our first grade curriculum changes for the new year. Stay tuned. So everyone, it is the new year, which doesn't necessarily mean new curriculum, but it was a time over Christmas break that I sat down and really started evaluating the curriculum that we were using and asking myself, is it working with our child? If it isn't, can I make it work? Do I need to replace the curriculum? Things like that. All of you homeschool mamas know that no matter how much research we put into our curriculum, and we put a lot of research into our curriculum, that doesn't necessarily tell us if it's going to be right for our child. I mean, I have curriculum that I have shelved that Davis has used and pulled it, and you know, it may work for Luke, it may not work for Luke. It's hard to know until you really get started with it, because each of our children learn different, and what throws me off is something that I think that my children would have no interest in whatsoever, they love. So it's really hard to gauge that. Now that Davis is older, a lot of times I will ask his opinion on curriculum, especially if it's something we've done in the past. Did he like it? So I get his input. Luke, as I'm starting to look at curriculum for him in his second grade, I'm also getting that input because he has to do it. Now, he's not going to have the final say in, yes, we're going to get that curriculum because he says so, but I like to hear their input as to why they would like that curriculum and why they would not like that curriculum. So I always like to get their input on stuff. However, I'm going to put a link up here, and that is going to take you to our first grade curriculum that we started out with. That's going to show you everything as a whole that we started the school year with. Now today, I'm not doing any extra curriculum, like I'm not going to talk about any of our Spanish or health or anything like this. This is just the main subjects that I'm going to be talking about. So first off, I want to start with what we have kept the same. So what we have kept the same in our curriculum is our first language lessons from the Well-Trained Mind. I really, really love this curriculum. I'm not even joking, guys. This was the first year that I have used this curriculum, and I had researched it and found it, and I thought, that looks like a really cool curriculum. So we started using it, and I have been very pleased. It's been perfect. It's worked out well for us. It's very hands-on. So if you do not have the time to sit down and really do hands-on, one-on-one, this may not be for you. But I do a lot of hands-on, and so this works for us, and I really love it. I love it so much that Davis is in the 4th grade version of this. I put him in the 4th grade because it's just absolutely one of my favorites. And Luke's, you know, the repetitiveness of it, you know, as we repeat, you know, what is a noun, what is a pronoun, what, you know, we're repeating this, so he's learning this stuff, as well as the poems. He loves the poems in it. So he has, all these are the poems that we have done, and so once a week I'll go back and I'll have him recite the poems, and he remembers them, so I have them marked just so I can easily access it. But we love this curriculum. The other curriculum that we have not changed since the school year started is we got this Soaring with spelling and vocabulary. To me, it's okay. It's kind of boring looking to me. Luke really likes it. Davis has the same one, and he likes his. Basically, it's set up to have 5 days. So it's like your first day, you read over the words and the definitions, and then you take a pre-test. We normally skip the pre-test because, I mean, it's just something I do. I don't feel, most of the time with the pre-test, with him being in 1st grade, he's, you know, he may be able to spell it, he may not. So I usually skip the pre-test, and we'll go on into day 2. So they have the questions and they fill in the words. Day 3 is the same thing. It's a different worksheet. They fill in the words. 4, and then on day 5 they do a spelling test. So basically this is the layout. We are on lesson 16 of this, and I'll be honest, while the boys like it, I'm really starting to research another spelling curriculum, only because when I asked Luke if he would like to try a different curriculum, he says no because this one's easy. So I feel that maybe, just maybe, and I could be wrong, that he's not being challenged enough, if you know what I mean. So we may end up using this the 2nd grade level next year. We may not. I'm kind of unsure. I want him to be challenged and not just, you know, fly by with, you know, easy. I mean, I want him to learn, so I don't want him to be too challenged, but I want him to have some of that challenge there. So We'll see, but as of right now, as boring as these pages look, guys, I'm not even joking. I mean, come on, it's all black and white. They really like it. So this is one of those curriculums that I was saying that I would look at and be like, nee, and then they really like it. So, you know, you never know. So what have we changed? We started out with Apologia Astronomy, and I also have the journal. I love Apologia Science. It's hard, but I like it. And Luke really loves the astronomy. So while we're not done with it, we're almost done with it. The journal was okay. I think it was a little more advanced for him. So basically what we did, of course there's a lot of repetitiveness. If you're familiar with the Apologia journal, you know how they're laid out. I had to write some of it because the space that he had, like on some of the activities, it was too small because he writes big, being a beginner writer. And so I would write it. So we did a lot of, he liked the books and the wheels and things like that. So we did a lot of that and the experiments. That's about it in the journal. The only reason we're taking a break from it is because we're approaching spring. He was asking to learn more about animals. Until then, we are doing the Christian Liberty Nature Kids. I ran across this and it looked interesting. I admit, I did not see the inside of the book, but what I read about it seemed interesting. And when we got it, I was like, they're not gonna like this. There's no color pictures. I was so wrong. They love these. And I say they because Davis has the 4th grade. And they are awesome. This past week, Luke studied spiders. And so is what we do is we read the spiders. We checked out spider books from the library. We talk about spiders. We watch spider things on YouTube. And we watch the gross spider things on Amazon Prime movies, the documentaries. So we watched all that. And then today he started talking about bees. So we've started pulling stuff on bees. So we're kind of extending it and we're learning deeper into it. But this is written in a way, it tells stories. You know, like a bee did this or somebody saw a bee do that. So it puts it in story form and they just really like it. So this is one of our changes for now, and it's the Christian Liberty Nature Reader. There's level 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'm definitely going to be buying level 2 and 3 since I have 4 because we love it so much. Next change, history. We were doing History of the World. I really liked History of the World. I liked it. I loved it. But I was losing Luke. He wasn't really interested in it. And then we had the teacher book, the student book, and then of course the reader. And I was really losing him. The words, you know, some of the places, the names, he was just drifting. The only time I had him was when we talked about Greece, and he loves Greek mythology. So I had him when we talked about Greece, but other than that, I was losing him a lot. So I tried to make it work. We focused on activities, narrating kind of, the narrating part of it, talking about that, activities. We would watch little shows, we would read books, and he still wasn't loving it. So with that being said, I have shelved it. I'm keeping it because I know we're going to be pulling it as we go through school because it's just one of those books that you're going to continuously pull. I started researching different history, and I ended up choosing the My America, My World, Abeka history. And we are currently on lesson, let's see, are the lessons even numbered? I've never even paid attention. We're on the Pilgrims in this book. And he just loves it. So along with doing this history, we're obviously adding our own reading because we're kind of extending the lesson. Like we started with the Pilgrims. We read the Pilgrims. Now we're talking about extra reading. We have brought out the Pilgrims and the First Thanksgiving from books that I've already had on hand. Squanto, we're reading Squanto right now as a read aloud. And I just really like this curriculum. It's vibrant and it's really great. Actually, and Luke loves it because you know what? He can read it himself. So when we sit down to do our history, he sits down with his book. I have my book here, the teacher book, and he reads it to me. And so the nice thing is if he gets stuck, I've got mine. He's got his own book, and it's great, so I can help him along. And he is very proud of himself that he can read it. And all in all, we have been very, very pleased with this book. It's oral. We do our vocabulary. We discuss it. We talk about things. So this has quickly become a favorite, and I'm already looking at it to be possible 2nd grade curriculum for him as well. So this definitely is something that we are really enjoying so far. Our geography. You can look in that video that I have linked. We started with the Evan Moore geography, and I did not like it. Yes, it taught him the basics, but it was kind of boring. He thought it was kind of boring, and he wasn't really looking forward to it. He did at first, but as we kept going, he was losing interest because it was kind of repetitive and it was very, very easy for him. So what we did is we started doing, I pulled out some curriculum that I had had in the past, and Davis is doing it as well, and we have started doing this. It is the Masterbooks Geography. Now, I think this is recommended for third or fourth grade, I think. So it's what I'm doing with Luke. Here is the Passport of the World, and then it also is the Children's Atlas of God's World. And to give you a peek inside the Children's Atlas, this is what it looks like. So it's beautiful. The pictures are gorgeous. We have not got to this one yet. We are looking forward to getting to this one. Right now we're doing Passport of the World, to where Davis does the worksheets that go with this. With Luke, we just read it. There are recipes and activities that he can participate in and does. So as we read it, and you see it's laid out nice. I mean, the color pictures, it's absolutely beautiful, the layout. And then in the front of the book, they have the passport. And so as they go to the different places, they can stamp a little passport on where they've been. So we are very pleased with this option. During our other stuff, we do pull the maps and things like that with our history, and then of course the geography to see where it's at. But we are very pleased with this. I'm going to be sad when the year ends and we're not going to be using this. I'm going to be doing this again with Luke when he does get into fourth grade, to the extent that Davis is doing it now. But this is one of our favorites so far. We love it. Last change, but it's not really a change. Luke, to give you kind of a backstory, Luke's always been really good at numbers. He's always talking about numbers. In his mind, he's always figuring numbers. And so last year he did the Horizons math and just kind of blew through it. And so this year, first grade, I was trying to figure out what math to put him in. While I like the Horizons, it does go fast. I mean, as far as what they learn. And Davis had used Horizon up until third grade, and he's kind of started getting behind in his math. So I got kind of worried that what if that happened to Luke? So I put him in the rod and staff. We had started with the Masterbooks math, and it was really easy for Luke. So it was not challenging him, but now it was the second grade Masterbooks math, and it was really easy. So with that, I got first grade rod and staff, and he's basically just flown through it. He finished it up at the end of December, so that left me finding a math curriculum for second grade. I had tested him, I had him tested, and he actually hit third grade level math, but I didn't want to do that. That was crazy to me to do that because, you know, he's only 6. He just turned 6 in November, and I didn't want to put him up there far because eventually it could backfire, you know, and get to the point that he's not understanding it and we're gonna have to go backwards. So with that being said, was what I decided was on the Abeka math, and so far I'm loving it. This is my teacher book. It's laid out really well. We do what works for us, so I've tweaked it, the lessons as we go, you know, and I just really love it. The kids book, of course, is not spiral bound, and it's really thick. So what I did is I tore the pages out and I did bind it, and so I made like 3 little workbooks with it. And so this is what he's on now, and this is this was like the first lesson to kind of give you an idea. And then here's page 2, page 1 of the next lesson, page 2. So he is really liking this curriculum. So far, he's been doing this for around 2 weeks. So we're on lesson 10, so he does a lesson a day. And so far, we're really pleased with it. And just looking ahead in the book, because I always like to look ahead to see what's coming up, I feel pretty confident in our choice as far as this new math goes, and I think we're going to be okay with it. Okay guys, so that is it. That is the rundown of some of our curriculum changes for the second semester of our school year. If you have any questions, be sure to leave them down below, and I'm more than happy to answer those. But for now, thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.